Senator Blazin Brown. Present. Senator Barad. Senator Barad absent. Senator Cheslak.
Present.
Senator DiVirgilio.
Here.
Senator Fang. Senator Fang absent. Senator Ippolito.
Present.
Senator Jiang. Senator Jordan Arnett. Senator Jordan Arnett absent. Senator Kumar. Senator Lakshmanan, present by proxy. Mr. Ikochia. Here. Senator Lambrosino.
Present.
Senator Lee. Senator Lee absent. Senator Mealy. Senator Meow. Senator Peterson. Senator Peterson absent. PPT Pomeroy.
Present.
Senator Scomial.
Here.
Senator Said, present by proxy. Mr. Horner.
Here.
Senator Walsh. Senator Walsh absent. Senator Wilkinson.
Here.
Senator Williams.
Present.
President LaCar.
Here.
President LaCar absent. Executive Vice President James L. Rossi. Treasurer Michaud.
Present.
VP of Communications Chung. VP of Student Life Myers. VP of Clubs and Orgs Pasha.
Here.
VP of Academic Affairs Adelson.
Present.
I move to amend the agenda to add an item between items 6 and 7, the resolution in support of a renewed rational tuition plan for the State University of New York.
Second. Seconded by Senator Pomeroy. Are there any objections? Seeing none, the motion passes. Moving on to the next item on the agenda, the approval of last meeting's minutes. Senator Williams.
Second.
Seconded by proxy Ikochia. Is there any debate? Seeing none, we'll move to a roll call on the approval of last meeting's minutes.
Senator Blazin Brown.
Yes.
Senator Cheslak.
Yes.
Senator DiVirgilio.
Yes.
Senator Fang.
Yes.
Senator Ippolito.
Aye.
Senator Jiang.
Yes.
Senator Kumar.
Yes.
Proxy Ikochia.
Yes.
Senator Lambrosino.
Aye.
Senator Mealy.
Yes.
Senator Meow.
Yes.
PPT Pomeroy.
Aye.
Senator Scomial.
Yes.
Proxy Horner.
Yes.
Senator Walsh.
Yes.
Senator Wilkinson.
Yes.
Senator Williams.
Aye. The vote is 17-0-0, the motion passes. Moving on to the next item on the agenda, Cam Keeson's acknowledgement request. Senator Ippolito.
I move to give members of the gallery speaking rights.
Second. Seconded by Senator P.T. Pomeroy. Are there any objections? Seeing none, the motion passes. Is there a representative here from, you want to maybe come up, say a few words about your club?
That's appropriate.
Yeah, that's fine.
Hi, everyone. My name is Jamie Leonard. I'm one of two directors and founding member of Camp Kesson. We're a registered club on campus, also a 501c3 nonprofit. We're one chapter of 62 across the nation. Other chapters are at Columbia, Yale, Stanford, etc. What we do is we put on a 1-week free summer camp for children affected by a parent's cancer. We also put on 2 reunions annually for these children. This past summer, we held our first week of camp. It was August 10th to the 15th. We welcomed 52 children, which is the largest in the history of Camp Kesson nationally. And this summer, we'll be doing it again, welcoming 100 children.
Are there any questions? Any questions? Senator.
Second.
Second by Capobianco-Hogan. Is there any debate? Seeing none, we'll go to roll call. So on the motion to acknowledge Camp Kesson,
Senator Blazin Brown.
yes.
Senator Cheslak.
Yes.
Senator DiVirgilio.
Yes.
Senator Fang.
Yes.
Senator Ippolito.
Aye.
Senator Jang.
Yes.
Senator Kumar.
Okay.
Proxy Akochia.
Yes.
Senator Lamborghino.
Aye.
Senator Mealy.
Aye.
Senator Meow.
Yes.
PPT Pomeroy.
Aye.
Senator Scomiao.
Yes.
Proxy Horner.
Yes.
Senator Walsh.
Yes.
Senator Wilkinson.
Yes.
Senator Williams.
Aye. With a vote of 16-0-1, the motion passes. Congratulations. Moving on. Moving on to the next item on the agenda, the Martial Arts Association SSC budget application. Please refrain from asking questions that were already answered in the committee. If you guys do not have a copy of their minutes, I have extras here. Is there a representative from Martial Arts here? Oh, you want me to come up? VP Tassi, you want to present their?
I actually wasn't here, so someone can make sure to see.
Oh, we just had.
Hi, I'm from the Martial Arts Association. What we do is we teach a couple of martial arts styles for practice and self-defense. I guess we need funding both for a coach that we have to instruct us in one of the styles, Tenchak Silat, and we also need money for equipment and other things like that. Yeah, I guess that's it.
Are there any questions? Follow.
So what's the general lifespan of this equipment?
The general lifespan,
Like how long for the normal lasting?
under, I guess, regular use, I'd say at least 2-3 years.
Follow up with that. Do you guys have a place to store it?
Yes, we are going to reserve a space in the rec center.
Are there any other questions? Any motions? Yes.
Motion to approve martial arts association for $474.
Second.
Senator Williams. Is there any debate? Yes. Are you asking for a standing vote? Are there any objections to a standing vote? You know, before you stand, all those in favor of approving Martial Arts Association's SSC budget application for $474.50, please stand. The motion passes 17-0. Congratulations. Moving on to the next item on the agenda, the Health and Nutrition Club's request for line budget status. Is there a representative here from Health? Come on up. Yeah.
All right. Hey guys, so I'm the current president of Health and Nutrition. So our main goal is basically to spread health awareness throughout the campus. And we do that through GPMs. We have weekly discussions, whether it's about healthy food, healthy lifestyle, it's open to anyone. In terms of events, we try to have people get people educated through the dietitians, nutritionist speakers, stuff like that. We also keep in contact with the campus nutritionist, so if people have any suggestions on how they want to change the campus dining here, we take their suggestions, email it back to her. And this semester, we're also trying to focus more on volunteer-oriented projects like volunteering at soup kitchens or veteran homes.
Are there any questions from the club's representative? Are there any motions? Hey,
I move to approve the health and nutrition club for line budget status.
Second.
seconded by Senator Wilkinson. Is there any debate? You got a seat. Are there any objections to a standing vote? All those in favor of moving health and nutrition club to line budget status, please stand. Yes. The motion passes 17-0-0. Congratulations. Moving on to the next item on the agenda, the Black Women's Association's line budget removal appeal. Are there representatives from the club? Members also have.
I'm blocked. I don't want to
Here, come
block.
sit.
You can sit on the other side, that way you do not.
Yeah, the floor is yours.
Hello, everybody.
Guys.
Hello, everybody. My name is Capobianco-Hogan. I'm the Undergraduate Association, and this is my vice president, Janelle March. I work two other signing pilots couldn't be here today because one is on the panel of the Unity Forum, and I think this is the best speaker, Kevin Powell, and the others in class. So we do have two members of my committee that are here to shadow us today. So first thing I want to talk about is Black Women's Association. We are an organization that cares for presenting women of the minority. And we've been around for 37 years, and we've always had an event spring that we become civil rights movement. And I'm here today to ask about the everything to line up status. Last semester we tried to use our budget during the fall semester, but a member of our e-board, our secretary, their signing powers wasn't working, so we couldn't sign the voucher. And I created a voucher, as you can see, on May 2014, before the school year even started, and everybody but the secretary was able to be put on the campus line. So I went to I tried to create a voucher on October 27th, and the secretary was able to see the voucher, but she wasn't able to press sign. So I went to the USG office, and the front desk told me that I should make an additional signature card and wait 3 business days, and hopefully I will be contacted by Colin or Catherine. So I emailed Colin on 11/5 as instructed in the email of USG treasurer. And he told us that he was having difficulties putting our secretary's emails with the campus line, and he told us that to make sure we're using the Stony Brook email, and she was using the Stony Brook email. So our secretary emailed him again on November 5th, and it wasn't responded to. Then she emailed him again on November 6th and asked if it would be better for her to meet with him in person. And Collins responded on November 8th, on Saturday, and stated that we should come in the following Monday to meet with Catherine. So she met with Catherine, and we were able to add her successfully to Catherine's line on November 10th. However, our event was on November 11th, so we couldn't fix the situation on time for us to sign the voucher and have an event. And we didn't want to use a reimbursement form because we don't have personal funds to fund that event. And Secondly, we didn't try to make the voucher because it was too late to book a room. It was around the November time, and you need to have at least 2 weeks to a month to book a room for an event. And but we did try to show that we're being proactive by creating a voucher for the spring event. And our resolution for moving forward, if we do get these things in line with the status, would be in the future to directly contact the USG treasurer with any questions or concerns, and to make bi-weekly or monthly meetings with a senator during office hours to ensure that UWA continues to progress, and to direct future e-board meetings to check on their own if campus line signatures are updated at the start of the fall semester. In addition, we have e-board candidates that are looking to run for elections, and we thought it would be a really good idea for them to shadow us and to learn from us, because I personally wish that I was able to shadow the president last year for a whole semester. And we're starting this year, so they are aware, they're more equipped, and that UWA continues to progress. I will make sure that all 4 e-board members are well aware of the financial bylaws, and we are looking to expand, so we have 2 major events, one in the fall and as well as one in the spring. And we continue to fundraise, and we will begin earlier. Okay, turn the page. Sorry, I'm so nervous. These are the events we had for last semester. So our first 2 events was a come hang out with the Labor Black Women Association, so people can get to know us and join our club if they wanted to. And that was held on September 10th as well as September 15th. And our second event was Radiance, that was held on October 6th, and it was basically geared towards mental health and how to encourage girls to be more confident, be more positive throughout their whole daily life. Our third event was Walk a Mile in Her Shoe, and we walked around the academic hall and the zebra path, and basically males were wearing heels to show, like, walk a mile in her shoes together for domestic violence. And the next event was 2 Cause, 1 Mission. We wanted to create 2 causes, breast cancer awareness and domestic violence, and have it 1 mission, and so we fundraised in the library. Our fifth event was Not a Natural Disaster, and that was geared towards trying to educate women about their hair, because natural hair is definitely trending. We want to support women who want to wear their own natural beauty. And that was actually the event that we wanted to use our voucher for, but we didn't have it on time. And the T. Howard Foundation, which is a foundation that is geared towards helping people get into the field of media, and that was co-hosted with the Career Center. As you can see, that we are very involved in campus, and last year we held only 2 events in the fall, and this year we held 7 events, and the number of UWA doubled, and we're going to continue to grow. And this semester we've held 2 events, one called Black Rights, and one on Monday is going to be called How Will You Know Black History Month, and we have other collabs with the African American Studies Department at Stony Brook University.
So, are there any questions?
Yes, so for moving forward, it says that you will have your bi-weekly and monthly meetings for the center. I think this is a great idea. Do you have any ideas on how you will make sure that you meet with the center? Because say if the center hasn't moved, you won't get conflicts.
Well, I would try to have each member of each board go, like meet the senator. So I believe their office hours, I met with sorry, I'm not a name. I met with I met with the one of Secretary for yeah.
So I part of the Senator's projects, Taylor's project is specifically geared towards transitional period and youth board. So with that outline for the semester, she's going to be making an effort to reach out to the club. Are there any other questions? Yes.
You guys are, if you were to have a budget for next semester or this semester, how would you typically go about going through and spending on one of your events? Can you walk us through the process? Now that I'm aware, I assume that you've had yourself familiar with bylaws.
Yeah.
And the process of how just trying to put in a quick conflict rate voucher and the time and all that stuff. Can you walk us through, like, if you were to have an event next month, what you would do in order to have the event successfully vouchers online?
Okay, so the first thing I would do is have the voucher in 4 weeks prior because the students' activity, people recommend that. Secondly, if there's a complication. Secondly, what I would do is that if there is a conflict, I will go to Catherine directly instead of talking to the front desk or even talking to Colin, just go to her directly because, like, looking at it now, I realized that I could have just went to her directly, but hindsight is 2020, but I learned from my mistakes. I will definitely check the bylaws to see if the vouchers are regulated under it. For example, I know food, you're not supposed to spend a lot of money on food, so we haven't tried to fundraise so that we can help add that to it. I would talk to the sellers. You guys very knowledgeable about bylaws, so if I'm going to write a voucher, I'm going to ask for your advice and how we can go about it, because I feel like I definitely utilize you guys more, because you never know how important someone is until you're in that situation, and I'll be happy to utilize you if you guys would have me. And I will definitely keep in close contact with Catherine and just talk. I think, better our communication.
I like that. Proxy, I coach you.
I was here for all the leadership conferences that were called during the semester. Every club leader was mandated to attend. And I specifically remember Colin and the treasurer stating that for every club member to check the campus line access the moment they left the meeting to make sure that the campus line access was working and that there would be no problems like the one we occurred today, like you guys are kind of going into. Is there a reason why maybe your secretary did not check the campus line access when she was at your conference?
So I checked mine at the beginning of the year and mine was fine, and I realized that last year I was secretary, so instead I was president. So I assumed that because my campus line was working, your campus line was working, and our treasurer's campus line was working, and we all had different positions this semester, I assumed that the first signature part that we put in work, but that's definitely one of the things that I put in for moving forward. I will check that, and I will tell the people here at Here's Shadowless, hi, and make sure to check it in the beginning of the year.
Did you state last meeting that the secretary came in later in the year?
No, we're all go together in May 1st, May 2014.
Just to clarify what Proxy Coachia had said, in meeting with Bianca during my office hours, she stated that the officers were on campus line, however, they didn't realize they couldn't sign voucher until she actually attempted to click the signature button.
Yeah.
Proxy, I coach you.
It's also mentioned the first voucher was put up to the appointment deadline.
No, it wasn't put in the day before the
Yeah, your voucher was put in the 10/26, with the deadline being 10/20.
Yeah, because Catherine just said it would take 2 weeks, and we were throwing so many events last semester that it's really hard to organize things, a month in advance. So we always try to do it 2 weeks in advance because we do know what we're doing, like in the summertime, but the nitty-gritty details of everything, like that's done 2 weeks, and Catherine's email did said that 2 weeks is an acceptable time to give in a voucher.
Are there any other questions? Are there any motions? Yes.
I'm not sure if this is going to be properly phrased, but I move to reinstate the line budget of the Black Women's Association.
Seconded by Senator Bernie Brown. Is there any debate? Proxy, I coach you.
If we're gonna, start going on case by case, status, that means we're gonna have to go through every single club that we, did the appropriation act last week, and we're gonna have to have discussions for every single club.
I have room on the agenda. Senator Bernie Brown.
At the same time, though, if they're going to make the effort to attempt to appeal these things, and they're going to, they clearly put together a very good presentation, they stated what they were going to do to fix these issues. If they're going to go that extra mile, I think we should too. I understand it doesn't work.
Senator Williams.
Yeah, just to go off the meeting, I feel like part of the thing is we want to put more responsibility. I feel like this is very responsible. And if everything is held up, we this is moving forward, and I think that this problem
Proxy, I coach you.
Yes, to go based on that, I think that everything she's outlined is also with the SSC budget and the SSC programs stated to do, kind of to walk the clubs through the process. I know for a fact that tax was bumped from budget line status 2 semesters ago, and they're one of the best company of SSC. And it teaches them the process of properly managing a budget and putting vouchers on time, as well as SBU TNG, who is now also applied to become their budget line status. And I think that SSC is particularly for that would help them struggle to go through financial responsibility or to follow the bylaws. They actually are kind of like walk through the process until they have a sustainable recurring cycle where they can function properly.
President Bianca?
Oh, thank you. I just really wanted to say that I understand that we didn't spend our money, but it was a technical issue and there was issues on both sides because when we were trying to email comments, it was taking him like 3 days to respond to us. And if he had responded on time, the checks could have been printed and pushed through. So I just don't want to, like, I feel like I put a lot of effort and I am very passionate about this club. And, you know, me even being here, it's like so nervous for me and I'm so scared. And like, I just took effort to appeal this and not many clubs would have done what I did to here today. Because it's hard to hear.
This one.
Oh, yeah. She was done speaking.
I'm
I
sorry.
was not speaking.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, thank you.
So I agree with the sentiments of Senator Blaise and Brown in that it is good that these two ladies are being proactive here tonight. They're the only ones here that are on the agenda for tonight. And that being said, I believe it is fully tantamount to a technical issue. I believe that no one here is completely faultless. I believe that while Colin could have gotten responses faster, I believe it's fair to say that everyone in the Treasury office is busy. And that at the same time, they also held several events in the fall. The fact that these events weren't funded doesn't necessarily mean that they misuse their budget. They are saving their budget. Then I think that's fair. They did try to use the funding for the event, which would put them in compliance with the bylaws. And they wouldn't have known that the campus fund wasn't working until they created the voucher.
Okay, so as Oscar brought up before, at every single one of the leadership conferences, every single e-board member was told explicitly to go on their phone, write them in there, and check to make sure that the campus fund was working. None of the accounts were cleared after July. So if it wasn't working then, they were instructed at that point to come and discuss why the campus fund wasn't working with me. After that, she did email Colin, she was practicing on that front. You guys have copies of the emails, but yes, but what I saw Colin emailed that same day.
No, and even after that, our secretary said she was going to appoint with ID on October 5th and November 5th. And he didn't respond back until November 8th, and I have it email.
Roxanne,
Get back and forth.
Just to release.
Sorry.
Oh, just in the speaking, I think you just respond to that, but he has his hand up before you.
Okay, so,
I'll get you that.
okay.
Two things. I understand that you guys will be able to use your money until the second semester. I completely understand that, but I also understand that at these leadership conference, we were very clear that 2 to 3 weeks ahead of time with the vouchers to be put up on campus line. And it, honestly speaking, if you were to put a voucher 2 to 3 weeks before the deadline, this probably would not be going through the problem right now. Because the moment you put the voucher, your secretary will not be able to sign it. You have 2 to 3 weeks to come to the office to clear the problem out.
The deadline that I put there is not the deadline for anybody putting vouchers. The deadline that said that it needs to be 2 weeks prior. The deadline to put in vouchers, I believe, was November 23rd. And secondly, what did I say? Sorry.
Well, I think that's what you're saying, right? That you mean 2 to 3 weeks prior to the event that you need.
Right, and we're not going through this problem.
Because it was.
It was 2 weeks.
That
Right,
is
but then
the
you guys
problem.
took 10 days to come in contact or to be contact.
But it
No,
was put in.
I went to the front desk, and the front desk told me to put in the signature card. So I did come to the USG office 3 days after I found that the voucher was working. Oh, and I did want to say that, yes, at the leadership conference, we told me to look at our campus line. But the issue with our secretary's campus line, and I talked to him about it, was that she was able to go on campus line. She was able to see that she was part of BWA. She was able to look at the budget, but she could not press it. And we would have not known that it wasn't working unless we made a voucher.
Senator Julio?
Pass.
Roxanne, Coach.
Yeah, one clarification to Treasurer Butler. If there's a pass and we extend it to budget on status, would this also restore the budget?
No, it's already signed off, but all the appropriations from all the line budgets are now available. So that said, as a further clarification, I mentioned that general company tonight. There are 3 or 4 others that are looking to appeal. They just weren't able to.
Yes.
So just on a timeline front, the event was scheduled for November 11th. This voucher was submitted 2 weeks and 3 days prior. So they were proactive pretty much from the second business day the USG office was open.
Treasurer Michelle.
So vouchers are required to be submitted 2 weeks prior. Submitted means having all 4 board members having signed off on it. That does not mean created 2 weeks prior. The voucher was created on the 26th, so all 4 board signatures were due the 28th, and all was not sent out to the 29th.
The email wasn't sent out, they were proactive on the 3rd day. It's not fair to expect them to have all 4 signatures if it's a technical issue. For all intents and purposes, that's preventing them from having the 4 signatures in the first place.
My point was that they needed to have it signed off on the 28th. They did follow up with everyone to actually try to get the signature people to be up on campus by that date. Everything was done after the deadline.
The deadline for,
Can I?
Follow up and then I'll bring it to you.
so my policy attorney will bear with me, please.
We'll send 5 seconds to
Sure.
I feel like in this situation, it's getting a little technical, and to have had our voucher in 2 weeks prior, which now we're gonna say a month prior in future vouchers, but we would have had to instantly sign those 4 vouchers, so had there not been a technical difficulty, it would have been in time. So obviously, when we made the voucher 2 weeks prior, we assumed we'd be able to just sign it and it would be submitted 2 weeks. So that's kind of where the issue comes.
So
Wait, I just have, one of you have your.
Yes, so 2 weeks prior to November 11th is October 28th, the first day at which they were in the USG office. Had the issue been settled right then and there, they technically would have had the vouchers fully signed and on the administrative director's dashboard. As someone who personally approves a good 600 vouchers a year for RHA, I could say that there are times where flexibility is necessary. And, well, I do not begrudge Treasurer Michelle because she processes a lot more vouchers than I do. I think it's necessary to say they did make an attempt to have all 3 officers sign the voucher on the 26th or 28th, somewhere around there. The voucher was created on the 26th for campus 20.
why did you not reach out to resolve the issue prior to that when you was about to be signed by the committee?
I went to the office, and the front desk told me that tapping the second signature card, and I assumed that like she was talking about right information because she does work in the office, and like nobody was there, and I said, what can I do? She goes, okay, make a signature card and send it in, and then it'll work. So then I emailed Colin emailed us to the 5th, and then we emailed him back, and he got back to us on the 8th, and then closed on the 10th, and by the time he knew, like, it took like a whole week to fix the problem.
Was that hand for a follow-up?
Yeah, so you received at least 5 emails prior to that date with explicit instructions on how to be added to campus funding, and it wasn't followed.
So our issue is that our secretary had a campus line. She was able to go on campus line. She was able to look at our budget. Like, she was on campus line, but she could not press the button. It was like clear in the back. She could not press the button.
Right, but you were told how to resolve that issue.
You told us to resolve the issue by contacting Collins, and once they moved the office, they told me to make the signature card. So I have all these people are telling me different things to do. And from hindsight, yes, I learned now that this is what I should do.
Senator Walsh?
I just want to point out that like there's students. So yes, maybe they didn't get in right away, but like you don't know if they work outside of school, you don't know if they had a test that day. I would just like to point out that we're students first. And I don't know about you guys, but if I was the president of a club, it would be very important to me, but it would not be the first thing on my agenda. So if a voucher wasn't going through and I had a test, I would definitely study for my test before I even showed up to the USG office. I just want to point out the fact that like they made an attempt, and I get it that like, yes, it didn't follow our financial bylaws that are like a million pages long and it's very difficult to maneuver if you don't know how it works. And like, they thought they were doing the right thing by going to protect that, so I just like don't understand why. Like, I get that like, you're supposed to follow the law, you're supposed to do everything right, but I'm just saying for students, so I don't get like, why we can't like think about that first. I don't know.
Proxy, I vote you. Senator Chesley.
I love what Senator Walsh said. We are students, and I also wanted to point out that we've been pressing this issue about this technical difficulty for so long, and I think we get that. You know, there was just issues with campus line, but I really don't want to
Senator Rashida.
I believe that we have all the information you make a decision and move that data.
Second.
Seconded by Senator Polito. Let me read it. So, so all those in favor of ending the debate, please stand. Unanimous. Yo, you guys can sit. Moving straight to a vote on the motion to reinstate the Black Women's Association to line budget status. All those in favor, please stand.
Wait, I'm sorry.
All those in favor of reinstating Black Women's Association to line budget status, please remain standing. With a vote of 14-3-0, the Black Women's Association has been reinstated. Congratulations, ladies. Yes, Proxy Coachia.
I guess point of information to the treasurer.
Michelle? Yes, he wants to ask you a question.
So now that they're reinstated, like, what John said, what are their options for funding?
Yeah, sorry.
I was asking the same question.
Okay, so what's the process is to get funding? Is that correct?
Yes.
So now they just have to submit online budget applications to the budget committee, which is not to me. That'll go to the budget committee, if they pass an appropriations act, then it would be brought to the Senate. And at that point, the Senate will decide on how much to appropriate back into their funds.
Is there a timetable you think that?
It depends on how long it takes the budget committee to process it, but, next week, they're going to have to go grant, so it will be done in the next 2 weeks.
When's the most implemented?
But
When's the most implemented?
there isn't one on how much they can be granted technically. I mean, there's no bylaw saying that there's a limit.
Moving on, we are now actually moving on to the next item on the agenda. The Senate, the resolution in support of the new and rational tuition plan for the State University of New York. Sent by Mr.
So, 2 weeks ago, at our Senate meeting, I talked briefly about the issue of rational tuition and the fact that it is expiring at the end of 15-16 academic year. Just to kind of remind you, rational tuition was a proposal that passed in the state legislature to put a cap on tuition increases over the course of 5 years, starting in 2010, 2011. The reason for that was the legislature had full discretion on what our tuition was going to be, whether it was going to how much it was going to increase. So some years it would increase 7%, and then in other years it would increase 42%, which isn't reasonable for students who need to plan with their families on how they're going to pay for their college education. So the plan was originated with students, and it got a lot of momentum and ultimately got a ton of support, obviously from politicians, but then from local businesses throughout the state, and all the way up to the SUNY chancellor. And then in the end, rational tuition was passed along with SUNY 2020, which was a cluster of initiatives that were put into place to really establish SUNY as the premier system in the nation and in the world through more funding from the state. And so to kind of just give you some examples of what has transpired because of SUNY 2020 and rational tuition. One, the Academic Success and Tutoring Center exists because of SUNY 2020. That academic excellence fee that for a while we had no idea what it was actually for. Last year, we obviously discovered that that's what it was going towards for development, and now to maintain and continue to expand that program, which provides which will provide at least 32,000 hours of tutoring for students during any academic year. Other things that it went towards was increasing graduate student stipends for those who are teaching classes, one that makes us more competitive with other institutions who are trying to recruit the top graduate students in every respective field. Tuition assistance is a huge component of it. Because of the rational tuition, which was going to provide some sort of tuition increase on a regular basis. The challenge was ensuring that your college education continues to be affordable, especially if you're from a low-income family. So there were two sets of tuition assistance that kind of came out of this. One is statutory. That's basically more money from the state that's put into the TAP pool to close the gap between the tuition increases and the tuition assistance. The other is merit-based, so more money still going towards high academic achieving students who may not be in necessarily need of academic in need of tuition assistance, but because of their success as a student, there's the merit-based in place for that. Some other things that are in place was the introduction of over 200 new faculty members over the course of time, which has dropped our student to faculty ratio from 29 to 1 to 20, from 29 to 1 to 25 to 1. And that number is expected to continue to go down over the next couple of years, which is great. So those are just a few examples of what SUNY 2020 and rational tuition has done. And because it's expiring next year, it's important that we kind of start now, getting the momentum going in terms of getting support from Stony Brook and from all 63 other SUNY campuses to ensure that rational tuition is something that continues to exist. Whether or not the cap is what it is at now is obviously up for debate in the legislature. At the University Senate meeting last week, a couple of professional employees had mentioned that maybe we should be pushing for a lower cap because the $300 cap over 5 years, we hit that cap every single year, which is substantial in and of itself. And if we continue that trend, that would effectively double our tuition over a period of 10 years, which, while it would still make us one of the most competitive institutions in the nation, it's still not something that we should be encouraging. So when the conversations are happening, we shouldn't be in the resolution itself because that shouldn't be our decision, but we should be pushing for a cap that is more reasonable than $300 now that we've had a $1,500 increase to our tuition over the past 5 years. So this resolution is to really get the momentum started, to kind of say this is something that needs to happen. The conversations are happening in the state legislature now, and this is really going to give us the push that they need to really consider this. There's a lot of students that are going to be going up to Albany in March to really push these conversations, to meet with our state senators, with our local legislature, and all of that, to understand why this is something that's really important to be renewed in whatever state that it is. But it's to ensure that, one, we as students can plan for 4 years of our college education with our families, and two, so our university knows how much money they're actually going to take in, and so they can plan accordingly. So they're not reaching for the stars all the time when it comes to any decisions that are made. They know what the minimum expectations are going to be. This also guarantees MOE, which is maintenance of effort. So whatever money that if the institution already receives from the state, they can't receive less, which is an assurance, and that's all part of SUNY 2020 and rational tuitions, and that's it from me.
Thank you. Yes, Senator Cheslak.
Do you know if there are any plans to help rationalize out-of-state tuition? Because I think that this only applies to in-state students.
You don't pay taxes?
Yeah, we pay the wrong taxes.
You have a follow-up?
Yeah, so I'm not too sure what role rational tuition and SUNY 2020 play when it comes to out-of-state tuition. There's a lot more flexibility for the legislature and the institution when it comes to out-of-state tuition. Obviously, a part of this discussion would be to better understand what the current model is, and then to see what can be done to ensure that out-of-state students also have the best possible education here and in other states.
Point of clarification, Ms. Cheslak does make money in New York State. She is subject to New York State tax. Resident New York State tax return.
Senator
Point of clarification, though, technically the residence halls are not a residency. I have researched
Why
this.
is that non-resident?
I thought you said that she could use her taxes to try to.
let's not.
Anyway, I will never again. Boss level question marks. Cannot defeat.
Moving on. Senator Guido.
As James kindly pointed out to me yesterday, I did not know, in the footnote number 3, IBID should be capitalized. I move to amend that appropriately.
Is there a second? Second by Senator Fang.
The IBID should be capitalized.
No, it's not right.
IBID is usually capitalized in scholarly works.
I've always seen scholarly journals that do it any other way.
That's how I'm stored.
Hey, it's the capitalization of an I.
Wait, was this saying?
Yeah. If Lloyd thinks it should be capitalized, I say we capitalize.
It was seconded, now we're in debate.
Let's find about.
Motion to end debate.
No, out of order. If there's no debate, then we can move on to.
I'm just standing vote.
Is there any debate? Seeing none, we'll go to a standing vote on the motion to capitalize the I in IBID.
So. Guys,
unanimous.
Capitalize now, you guys.
Sorry, while your August is. No.
I did. I didn't say both ways.
So let's move on. No? Yes.
I move to approve the resolution in support of a renewed rational tuition plan for the State University.
Second by Senator Kumar.
You can interrupt, wasn't done for idea.
I waited the last.
I was about to interrupt.
Is there any debate? Is there any debate? Let's get out of here.
Such an early meeting.
Seeing none, we'll move on to a roll call. Actually, a standing vote. All those in favor of passing the resolution in support of renewed rational tuition for the State University of New York, please stand. Except for Walsh. Walsh is not here. Yeah, so for the vote of 16-0, 1-0, the motion passes. All right, moving on to the next item on the agenda, open agenda. On my end, I only have 9. I have less than half of the senators who've given Mary your office hours. Please do that. There's like a nice little sheet in front that us has to give to students when they come in and ask about it, especially now that you see clubs really asking about meeting with you guys. I would suggest you guys get those in as soon as possible. On my end, also, a bunch of new set of proposals were passed today. The majority of, we're only missing 3. But other than that, you'll find them all on the website. I would check out each other's proposals. I know Nathan has some of the freshman 101 classes. A couple of you have offered the interest in helping out with that project. And what other projects you guys can help each other out with, just check them out. Also, the end of February's monthly report, although not extensive, I do expect you guys to have a little snippet about your Senate report, being that the majority of you guys were passed at least half a month in. So, obviously not too sensitive, there's not much you can do, but just start branding what your project is in the student body. Is there anything else for open agenda? Karen Barrett.
2 things. One, we have SAD, but we volunteers everything. Starts at 7:30. Secondly,
8 o'clock when we start.
boom. And second thing, not USG related, I put on the Facebook group about the Student Voice on Campus Dining Committee. The applications are live, deadline March 25th. The compensation is $200 and $25 per month for it. So, support the word. If anyone has any questions about it or would like assistance in applying.
Well, you need to have a meal plan.
Darn, you what?
You need to have a resident meal plan.
There's 2 slots for computers, 2 slots for apartments.
I'm just saying you need to have a meal plan in general, and you can't, like me, who doesn't have a meal plan, apply for it.
You could apply for a computer meal plan, which you should have anyway.
As I do often on campus. Okay, moving on. Senator Chesler.
Okay, so elector registration went live today. Yes. Elector is happening Friday, March 27th in Staff Hall B from 10:30 a.m. to 3:45 p.m. So come learn about how to run for student government and other things.
Open to men only.
It's also open to men, so.
Is there anything else? Is this motion?
No.
Senator, okay. I do have something actually for, open agenda, the Rock Regatta theme. With a vote of 35% to 32%, Mainstream Fantasy has won the vote, beating Around the World, which was the second highest vote. So this year's Rock Regatta theme will be Mainstream Fantasy. I'll be sending out, I'll be publishing the statistics for the vote online, so I thought I'd bring it to your attention first. Yes.
And what's Mainstream Fantasy?
Yeah, 25.
I mean, the ones that were examples were Game of Thrones, Lord of the Rings, Harry Potter, stuff that aren't real, that are popular.
Not real!
Unicorns.
Everybody make sure that goes to the minutes. Unicorns? Unicorns? Yeah.
Anyway, is there anything else? Is there anything from the gallery? Senator Meany.
So, like last week, the hall council thing, it's like actually happening. Like, we're doing it. I have the flyer made up. I have talking points made up. Let me know, please, because we had 3 people last week, and Lloyd was the only one who went out and did it. And success, I don't know, but he did it in the West, and West is a good place to start. I expect all of you to attend at least one. Yeah, come on.
Yeah.
That's it. All right, bye.
Anything from the gallery for open agenda? Any other points? Senator Williams.
I just want to say on the record that if the club ever wants to do something like UWW, they see a change that they want to happen here, then they should probably get on it.
Yes.
Because we're open to
Laws are cement.
That's all I want to say.
Anyway.
Motion to adjourn.
Second. PBT Pomeroy. Are there any objections? Wait, guys, help me put back these tables, please. And, I need your name.
My brother, where's my money at?
No, you're not. Guys, just sit down. Like, I gotta give you. Yeah, take the extra 2 bucks. This is getting delivered. This is getting delivered. Oh, yeah.
My brother, sorry.
Like my donuts?
Yeah, okay, since we do this again, it is gonna come this Sunday.
Why do you want to do it?
Oh, I can't believe it needs seat on. I can't believe my laptop seat on the battery. It's been bugging up with sometimes the battery charges and sometimes it doesn't.
Just one of the good times? What? Just one of the good times?
Apparently, because an hour ago it wasn't charging. And now it is. And this happens with two totally different operating systems. Both Windows and
gonna do that thing? So you're gonna have 2 separate computers, one as a backup in case one goes
If I can get a second computer to do that, I will definitely set that up.
Do you have like a kind of navigation for Stack?
Stack is now has no alignment, so we can't do anything. Also, we would really have a use for doing that. Our best bet, actually, one option would be one option is first check if technically the yearbook was ever actually removed as a part of USG system. It used to be in the same category as.
As far as I can tell. But like it was only a couple of years ago that it was revived because they were stacked. Yearbooks. They actually had a free yearbook.
Yeah,
and they were just.
I know. 07 was the last one. The same category as SCC and some of the other is, I can't remember the name for the section, but it used to be in that category. So there were references to it, as still being in that category after it was disbanded. So I have to first check if technically it was ever removed or if someone just left it out of the code updates. Because then technically it still exists. And just hasn't been published yet, or head officers. And I wouldn't be surprised. But after I find out if it still technically exists, then I can see about either having it added back in or whatever, and then getting it back.
Steve, no, this is always capitalized.
No, I'll show you 100 scholarly articles that have it both ways. Yeah, it could be either way.
I've never seen like I don't know the first one.
So,